Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Monday morning day. What day are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Radiant Let Live Festival. And I am here with the amazing Suzanne McTier Browne this morning. How are you, Suzanne?
I'm great. Really good. Thanks, Leanne.
Awesome. Okay. So Suzanne is going to give us a very pertinent masterclass that we can all learn tips from today, because we're all going through it in one way, shape or form. And her masterclass title is 6 Easy Steps to Reduce Stress During Chaos and Change. So how pertinent is that? Particularly to the last 2 years, really, that we've been all going through as a collective. Before she starts, I just wanted to go through Suzanne's biography. So, okay. Hang on a minute. Sorry. Yep, I've got the right. Yes. This is Suzanne's biography from Radiant Visionary Women Igniting the Light in Others, one of our incredible authors in that book. Time is precious. You don't have to waste it suffering or living in pain and stress. With more than 20 years experience specializing in pain and stress relief, Suzanne McTier Browne has helped thousands of people accelerate their recovery from accidents, sporting injuries, back and chronic pain, stress, grief, trauma, self-sabotage, and more. As a master hypnotherapist and trainer, master NLP practitioner and trainer, master timeline therapist, master coach, advanced Bowen therapist, reflexologist, massage therapist, and author of her own book, Drug-Free Pain Relief, The Truth About How to Avoid Pain, Even If You've Tried Other Methods. Suzanne is also an international speaker and works with high achievers to improve performance. Wow, Suzanne. I don't think you ever stop.
Life pushes and pulls us in different directions, doesn't it?
Yeah. Wow, you've got an interesting suite of qualifications there and incredible experience. I will just keep going on. At age 22, facing a painful and life-threatening condition, Suzanne discovered the wellness secrets that led to her full recovery. That information also helps with other pain and health conditions and is documented in her book, Drug-Free Pain Relief. Suzanne, you might want to put in the chat the link to your book. Can you do that? Or you can get it to me later and I can put it in the comments if you like. After subsequent management and university careers, Suzanne resigned to establish the Good Health and Pain Relief Clinic and follow her life purpose to assist people transform their physical and emotional pain into wellness and personal power. Having won her own pain and health battles, Suzanne is passionate about empowering people globally to live their best life. Her self-help program, Live Pain and Stress Free, is available at www.suzannemctierbrowne.com. Suzanne also consults online and in person at her Gold Coast and Rockhampton clinics. Wow. And I know Suzanne, I know from liaising and talking to Suzanne during the whole process of the Radiant book that she is so authentic and she has overcome extreme challenges herself. So she has not only got all the knowledge and the qualifications for this, but she's also experienced it herself on deep, profound levels. So welcome, Suzanne.
Thank you, Leanne. That was a wonderful introduction. Thank you very much.
You.
Look, you know, I'm a typical Australian, and I found when I started working and treating people overseas that as a lot of Australians, we tend to keep quiet about what we've achieved and what we do in life. And that really doesn't serve us or other people. So, if we're in the helping or the healing profession, wanting to support others, we need to let people know what we've done and what we can do. But there's still part of me, because I was raised and brought up that you don't talk about yourself, that you don't want to sort of shine too brightly. It's that tall poppy syndrome, isn't it, that we have here in Australia. But now I realise that if people know what I can do, maybe they'll know that I can help them and be able to reach out. So thank you for that.
Excellent. I've made you co-host so you can put your slides on if you like.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so, okay, has that worked all right?
Yes, that's perfect.
I was saying to Leanne before this, there's been a bit of a family drama prop up before this presentation. So I wasn't able to really prepare the way I wanted to. But anyway, that's life. Life throws things at us. That's part of the stress and chaos that we kind of live within, Sometimes life goes smoothly. Sometimes it's not so smooth. But we have to learn how to smile and roll with the punches and keep going. Never give up. So I'm just going to go to the second slide. A lot of that Leanne's already gone through, but I love helping people with stress and pain relief, and I particularly specialise in drug-free. So I like looking at natural methods, empowering methods, teaching people how to help and heal themselves. I'm really passionate about empowering people because we actually have a lot of inner strength and a lot of resources within ourselves that we can learn to use to help and heal ourselves. Self-sabotage. I don't know about you, Leanne, but I've dealt with a bit of self-sabotage in my past.
Yeah.
Probably still have a little bit more hanging around, but I know the tips and techniques to sort of to eliminate a lot of that, and to work to our best, highest potential. So I love helping people improve their energy and high performance. You don't have to be a high performer, though. I mean, you can just be busy. I mean, life throws so much at us that, we just want to be at our very best, have the best kind of energy levels to be able to cope with what everyday life throws at us. Yeah. So you've already gone through a lot of that. I guess over the past 20 years, I've helped thousands of people live their life, pain and stress-free. So whether that's coping with back, hip and leg pain, or foot pain, or neck and shoulder injuries, whether it's headaches and migraines, hormonal issues, even respiratory issues. I've also helped people increase and boost their immune system, which is generally a good thing to be able to do. But I also love, there's emotional pain as well as physical pain. So from the point of view, my own life, I've had a lot of, has included a lot of variety of experiences. So things like I was hit by a car at the age of 13 and was in hospital for many weeks, had swelling on the brain, but came through that. And then my dad passed away when I was 21. There was medical error involved with Dad's death, so it was a bit of a shock and a surprise. So dealing with that was very traumatic at the time. And less than a year later, as you mentioned in my book, Drug-Free Pain Relief, I document my journey with battling a diagnosis of MS. And sometimes I don't like to mention MS specifically because the lessons I learned then in healing myself, because my doctors, with all their good intent, didn't know how to help me. They literally gave me a death sentence, said you have less than 12 months to live. We don't know how to help you. Go away, do whatever you can, but just prepare for the worst. That's, paraphrasing what they told me at the time, which was catastrophic, very traumatic. But now I realise with hindsight, it actually gave me the stimulus. I got angry at them, and I learned to use that anger to fuel me, to fire up, to sort of fire up the fighter in me, kind of engage my own pain relief warrior. I was in excruciating pain. It was nerve pain, which if anyone's ever experienced nerve pain, it's sharp. It's like electricity that can fire up anywhere through the body. So my central nervous system was really, really struggling. And I have this sort of system where pain relief medications just don't work. So all the pain relief that they threw at me did very little to mitigate this severe nerve pain. As well as that, I was losing mobility and function. It was happening very fast. I was given a diagnosis of fast progressing MS. And yeah, my doctors said, look, we're sorry, but we don't know how to help you anymore. So I remember it was a really big journey. And I won't go into all the details here, but I realized at the time that my pain was actually good for me. I mean, hard to admit, and people that are going through pain at the moment, you're probably going to be saying, my God, Suzanne, how can you say that? But truly, the pain was the stimulus that gave me the energy and the drive to overcome it. If I hadn't have had the pain, if, for example, my pain relief medications had worked, I would have just self-medicated myself into oblivion. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have got married, had 2 wonderful daughters. I've got a granddaughter. I wouldn't have been able to help the thousands and thousands of people I have over the last 20 years. So all those things happened because the pain remained, and I was determined, or became determined, to fight it and to win. And I did. And so I use that information that I learned back then to help my clients now. I want them to know to never give up. There's always hope. It doesn't matter what diagnosis you've had, you can still fight it. And look, sometimes the diagnoses are true. You know, sometimes you can put in your best fight and things not go the way that you want. But you know what? That's life. Doesn't mean that you give up, you don't stop trying, because I was given absolutely no hope and totally beat my diagnosis. But, you know, other things have happened. The last couple of years, my husband passed away. He had his battle with brain cancer. And against the odds, he was improving. We were doing so well. And we relaxed. We thought, yes, he's going to overcome this. But again, medical error. He was prescribed the wrong medication, and we lost Steve. So I've experienced grief. And everyone will experience grief in their life. I think when you experience loss of a loved one prematurely, though, there's an added element of whether it's shock, of life not being fair, because, we hope that everyone will live to a ripe old age. We hope that everyone will have a beautiful life up until, the end of their life in their 80s or 90s or 100, but life does not always give us that. So in overcoming my own battles, I've learned a lot of things. I've also done a lot of study. For the past 20 years, I have to confess I'm a bit of a geek. I'm a bit of a bookworm. I love science. I love anatomy and physiology. And my first university degree, I was actually majored in journalism, and it gave me amazing research skills. So I have always got my head down, studying, keeping up with the latest and greatest information, because I want to use that. I have an ability to take a lot of information and actually just condense it into a simplified form to pass on to educate and empower my clients. So, So I won't go through the rest of that because, Leanne, you did such a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
That's okay.
So let's get started into this. This is easy ways to reduce your stress during chaos and change. And as Leanne said, a lot of that's happening at the moment. We are living in challenging and unique times. Freedoms and routines that were once assumed and relied upon have been limited or reduced or sometimes even taken away. And while life has always had its stresses and conflicts, now that is being amplified on a global scale. So we're being flooded daily with negative news, images and propaganda, and that creates massive stress and anxiety, which has an effect on our health and our performance, both emotionally and physically. There's a wise saying that where the mind goes, the body follows. And so that's why you want to reduce your stress. Consuming constantly negative news and media has a huge impact on your body and your health. The longer you are exposed to continued stresses and negativity, the more mental and physical health issues that can begin to surface. Often stress continued over time becomes trauma, pain, and eventually disease. So that's why it's important to control and reduce your stress for both your physical and your mental health and wellness. Today, I'm going to show you 6 easy steps to reduce stress during chaos and change. And doing these things can help you find some calm amidst all this chaos. Now, these are not only things that you can do, they're not the only things, but they do work and they are free. And so you can do them at home, no matter where you are. No excuses. So step 1 is to breathe. So tune out, turn off any negative self-talk or news, turn off the TV and the radio, and just sit comfortably and breathe deeply. So we're going to do it together now. Just fill your lungs. It's just simple. All you have to do in this moment is just breathe. So when you're ready, breath in and just out. Beautiful. Again, just in and out. Good. Now, you might need to relax or loosen your shoulders and your neck, because when the body's in stress mode, if you're a bit stressed or anxious, you will tend to contract those muscles. Our body in stress gets ready to fight back. So your shoulders can come up, your neck gets tight and tense, you're getting ready to fight or you're getting ready to run. Whichever way, these areas get tight. So just stretch, release, relax those shoulders. If you need to shift your position, just make sure you're nice and relaxed and release. Maybe you need to close your eyes to help shut out the rest of the world, and that's fine. So let's do it again. This time all nice and relaxed, closing your eyes, breathe in, and then just out when you're ready. Now, speed of breathing. You might find that when you're stressed, you breathe really fast and tight up into the top of your chest. That's really, really normal. It's not very helpful from your body point of view. It doesn't help your body regulate and de-stress and heal. And actually, I don't know whether you know, but a stressed body doesn't heal. So it's really critically important that you do everything that you can to relax and de-stress. So I just want you to take your hand, put one hand on the top of your chest and one hand just kind of below the rib cage, the top of your tummy, around the bottom of the ribs, around the diaphragm muscle area. And I just want you to take some deep breaths. Just breathe how you would be normally breathing at the moment and just notice which hand moves. So just take some deep breaths in. Take a few breaths and just notice which hand moves. The move might be subtle. The more stressed you are, the more slight and the more subtle the move will be. So just concentrate a little bit and just see if you can feel a hand move. Okay, so Leanne, I might ask you, how are you feeling which hand is moving for you?
Yeah, my bottom hand's moving more.
Beautiful, beautiful. So if your bottom hand is moving, that means that you're doing a more relaxed breathing, which is excellent. It means that you're more doing a diaphragmatic or belly breathing. And that's the breathing for healing. So that's really good, Leanne. Well done. But for a lot of people in stress and anxiety, the top hand is going to be moving. And maybe it's only very slight, or sometimes neither hand moves. And that's for someone who's really in stress. So if neither hand is moving or the top hand is moving, you really need to do this next exercise to help open up your breathing and relax and to start healing. Okay. So, okay. In the clinic, I teach my clients how to waltz with the breath. So if you've done music, I did piano, or if you've done dancing, you'll be familiar with the waltz rhythm. It's a simple 3 counts. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when you're stressed or anxious, it can be really good to just tailor your breath to a simple 1 count. You only have to breathe to 3, so it's not hard. I know there's a lot of great breathing exercises out there, and they'll get you to breathe to 7 or 10 or 30 count. But I have to say, having experienced stress and pain myself, if you're shallow breathing, there's no way in hell you're not going to get to 10 or 20 or 30. So I found this simple 3 count, a waltz count, works best for all of my clients. So we're just going to do it together. What you do is you time or relate that 3 count to your breathing. So it's in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Now, depending on, you actually relate it to your current speed. So if you're stressed, it might be a fast waltz. It might be in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. That's okay. Just relate your 3 count, tailor your 3 count to your breathing speed, and it will gradually slow down over time. If you're relaxed, your waltz count's going to be a lot slower. So it might be something like in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. And that's great. That's an optimal, relaxed, fully belly diaphragmatic breathing. So that really helps your body cope with anything that's going to be thrown at you. So we're going to practice. I'm going to kind of aim for a middle range waltz count so we can do it together. So when you're ready, we're going to start. So it's in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Again, in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out. And again. Again, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. And now just breathe at your own pace. Okay. So waltzing with the breath is something you can do simply at home. You start with the speed of your waltz is tailored to your current breath. If it's a bit high and fast, as you continue to waltz with the breath on that 3 count, it will start to slow down. You don't even have to think about it. You just waltz with the breath and it will gradually start to slow down and get you into a more relaxed state of breathing. So I hope you practice the waltz with the breath, give it a try. Let me know how you go with it. A lot of my clients, I've taught this to them and it's worked really, really well for them. So let me know how you go. I'd love to hear. And there's also a short practical video going through waltzing with the breath on my website and on my blog. So, and I just wanted to say there's no need for you to take notes for this masterclass today, because at the end you can access my little ebook, which goes into details about all these steps. So for now, you can just relax, breathe, and we'll go through the rest of these easy steps. Okay, so step 2 is move. So you need to move. You are not a tree, okay? You can move and you are made to move. And actually, even when you think about trees, even though they're rooted in the ground, whenever there's wind, they're swaying and moving their branches and their arms. So, yeah, it's important for you to move. You're part of the animal kingdom. You're part of nature. And so movement is energy and life. And actually in nature, stillness, it actually equates to death and stagnation. So truly, when you use the principles of life and nature, you need to move. Now, I'm not going to dictate how you move. That's up to you. And I'm a great believer in finding fun ways to move. So whatever is fun for you, if you like to run or jog, that's great. If there's no way that you can run or jog at the moment, a slow walk is all you can manage. That's great too, okay? There's no judgment. The trick is to finding a fun way that you can easily handle and that you can commit to doing regularly. So whether it's playing sport, whether you want to be involved with other people and do things with other people, that's great. Go out and play your sport, get on your teams. Whether you're more solitary and you like to bushwalk or walk on the beach or go swimming, whatever the activity is, just try and move as many parts of your body as you can. In my book, Drug-Free Pain Relief, there's a whole chapter about that. There's exercises, there's stretches. Well, actually, there's a couple of chapters about that because it's such an important part. Okay, movement helps stimulate your circulation and your lymphatic drainage. So if you're battling a health condition, it's a really big part of helping you heal. Okay, so step 3, sunshine. We really need to get some sunshine in our day if we can manage it. The power of vitamin D to sort of support your health and your well-being. Even mentally, it makes you feel better getting out in the fresh air and sunshine. So have you ever been on a holiday to the beach, or maybe you like the mountains? We've spent time outside. Maybe you were camping or just walking outside, enjoying the fresh air and the sunshine. Do you remember how great that felt? Do you remember how recharged you felt after being out on holidays and out and about? What about you, Leanne?
Oh, I was just thinking, Suzanne, that we're so blessed to live where we live. And we have sunshine, pretty much every day here, don't we? And no real winter. And it's incredible for our health and to get out there. We can do, I know that I do beach walks with my family all through winter here. It's just incredible.
Yeah, we are truly blessed, and it's important to appreciate what's around you and to take advantage of it, to use it. It's there for a reason, isn't it? Yeah. Our bodies thrive outdoors and just produce a cascade of natural feel-good hormones when exposed to natural sunlight, to natural vitamin D. And the great thing is you don't have to pay for this, or you don't have to go anywhere to get that feeling. So just find somewhere close to you where you can go outside and get some sunshine in your life, okay? Natural exposure to early morning sunshine or sunlight is often best. There's a lot of studies that promote early exposure early on in the day before the UV rays get too stronger later in the day. But sometimes, depending on where you're living and what climate or season you're in, you may have limited exposure to sunlight. But then you can use a quality vitamin D supplementation. Now, this is general information. I mean, depending on your particular health issue, you should check if you're on prescribed medications. Check with your doctor or your pharmacist about whether you can take vitamin D supplementation. But as general information, a general rule, if it's winter and you haven't got access to sunlight, maybe consider looking at vitamin D supplements. There's been so many books and research done about natural vitamin D and vitamin D supplementation. It's a simple but amazing thing that can help strengthen your mind and your body. So best of all, it's free. And it's one of the amazing blessings of nature. So it's something simple that you can do to help control your stress and help yourself feel good. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So number 4, or step 4, is help. Okay, so this is actually about helping others. It's good for you to get help for yourself if you need it, of course, but when you also focus outside of yourself and focus on helping other people, it brings many blessings. So it doesn't have to be big, but helping others helps take the focus of your own issues and problems. It gives you a time out from thinking about and ruminating about what's happening in your life. It's a great distraction for a stressed mind, is to help others, to be of service. So keep it simple. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be complex. I'm a big believer in doing a lot of simple things that overall improve your stress and provide you with pain relief and healing. So it could be something as simple as smiling at a stranger. Often when you go walking around, you may have family or friends around you. You may be by yourself. but you can also notice other people who are living their life solitary. It could be someone elderly who's alone. It could be someone young who's kind of lost and alone. So just keep an eye out. Smile at people. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't matter if they don't smile back. They may be so surprised that someone is smiling at them, but smiling from an anatomy and physiological point of view actually helps you, makes you feel better. And if you smile at someone else, it's got a lot of potential to help them feel better too. So why not smile? Doesn't cost you anything. You could hold the door open for someone as they go through the doorway. You could call a friend. You could shout someone a coffee. You could visit or ring someone who is lonely. So there's a lot of simple and easy things that you can do to be of service and to help and support others. And when you focus on others, you start to realize that you can make a positive difference. Your life is not all doom and gloom, you know. You have a purpose, and the purpose doesn't have to be big or huge. Just making a small change in someone's day is massive, Again, the simple thing. Sometimes all we have to do is breathe and smile at someone, and we can make massive changes. So what about you, Leanne? Do you, you're a bit of a smiler. You're like me.
Yeah, I am. I am. And it does make such a huge difference when you smile at people. And, you know, it's been really hard, like with the masks and everything, because I find that so hard. You know, the times that I've had to wear it, it's like I'm smiling behind my mask, but you can't even tell. So yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you say that, because I think the masks, and I know at times they've been necessary, but it has had a big impact on people psychologically and mentally as well.
Absolutely.
And it's also made communication, because most of our communication is actually non-verbal. It's by the expression in our face or our gestures or our posture. So masking everyone up has made communication a lot less efficient and effective. And has contributed to people becoming, you know, low in their energy and depressed.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely see that for sure.
Yeah. So the more we can interact with people and smile and talk to them, because there's a lot of lonely people out there too. Some people have been impacted in how they can access their normal family and friends. So if we all support each other, it's a win-win for everyone, isn't it?
It really is.
Okay, so step 5 is positivity. I know it sounds cliche, but you need to focus on the positive. You need to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. So many times when people are stressed or anxious, it's because they're focusing on negative things. They're focusing on what they don't want. And, you know, like I said before, I'm a bit of a geek. I do a lot of study about neuro and brain training and quantum physics, all sorts of things, the power of positivity, law of attraction, all those things. What about you, Leanne?
Love it. It's like, that's my stuff. Once you start on it, you just can't stop.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm not a big fiction. I get bored with fiction. I don't waste my time with fiction. Sorry, any fiction authors out there.
I'm the same.
You know, so and you learn through all those things that what your brain focuses on, you create more of. Okay. Your brain reinforces neural pathways. It strengthens those connections. So if you're always thinking negative thoughts, you're strengthening your direction. You're strengthening the way your brain thinks. You're strengthening your life experiences with negative thought patterns. So don't do that. Stop. It's time to stop and focus on the positive. And it does take effort, because we're dealing with, you know, prehistoric brains that were actually geared and designed to focus on the negative things to protect us from danger in the environment. And for the majority of us, we're relatively safe. You know, we don't have to be focused on the negative all the time. And in this modern world, being negative actually defeats us achieving what we want to achieve. It has an impact on our health and our well-being. So focus on the positive. Stop wasting your time and energy focusing about what you don't want. Stop making that a bigger part of your life. Just stop it. Work out what you truly want. Take some time out to work out what you want, and then be very determined and steadfast and focus on what you want. Okay. Oh, I'm turning into lecture mode there, aren't I? Oh, gosh. Okay. So number 6, positivity. No, sorry, that was number 5, wasn't it? Number 6, tapping. Oh my gosh. So this is actually talking about thymus tapping. So the thymus is an important gland, important part of your immune system, which produces your white blood cells and T cells, helps your immune system. There's actually also a mind-body connection with your thymus gland, and it sits behind your breastbone in the center of your chest between your lungs. And thymus tapping is great for stress relief and also stimulating your immune system to support your health. So you can tap, you can just use your fingers to tap. I tend to use 3 or 4 fingers at a time, and just kind of, I'm trying to sit up there a bit, and sort of tap just beneath your collarbone there, just on that breastbone between your rib cage, and just tap gently with your fingers. Now, some people like to use knuckles. You can use knuckles as well. You can do it that way. You can do it one hand. Some people like to do 2 hands. So it can be 2 hands with fingers, it can be 2 hands with knuckles. Okay, so whatever way, it just sends vibration, stimulation, and energy to your thymus gland. So there's this thing that we actually our thymus gland starts to reduce and get smaller as we age. So some people say after the age of 75, it's just become a mob of fat. But I mean, I don't know. I think energetically, I'm going to keep tapping way into old age, because it also does other things. It actually helps the lymphatics through your chest. It helps release your chest muscles. Now, while we thymus tap, you can actually, if you've got some respiratory issues, you can actually tap with your fingers across onto either side of the chest. So you're kind of tapping over the lungs, over the ribs on either side. So you can do it one hand and tap on either side. You can do 2 hands together. Some people have hard and fast rules. I'm a great believer, whichever way you do it, do it comfortably for you. So if you want to do 2 hands or 1 hand, just do what works for you, and you're still going to get great benefits from that. Another way you can kind of high power up your thymus tapping is to link it to an affirmation. So you could say a positive affirmation such as, and deep breathe while you're doing this, say, I am safe. I am safe. Life loves and supports me. Life loves and supports me. Okay, so whatever positive affirmation, but that's a nice simple one. And that will start to calm everything down. Starts to release your chest muscles, stimulates your thymus gland. If you're doing it over on either side of your rib cage onto your chest, helps lymphatic drainage around the lung area. Just a really simple but useful technique. Whenever you're stressed or anxious, tap on the thymus. I'm safe. Life loves and supports me. Life loves and supports me. Very good. Very good. So,
Suzanne, sorry, or do you just use your intuition with how long?
Yeah, look, yes, you can. I mean, you can do it just for quick. It can be quick and easy. I know times before I've gone to go on stage and perform on stage, and I'll just do a bit of a thymus chest, and it just kind of releases everything, tapping on your thymus and your chest releases those muscles in the front of your chest, but then you can also just wriggle and relax your shoulders, because a tight muscle actually constricts your circulation and your lymphatic drainage and will impede performance. So this is what I talk about with my high performers or people that are busy. So the more relaxed you are, the more things flow, the more your energy increases. If you're tight and constricted and contracted, it lowers your energy. So the more we can just relax and release, the better things happen. don't tap and hurt yourself. It's not to be tapping hard and hurting yourself. Even gentle tapping sort of stimulates a lot of nerves. Then you also get into things like energy medicine and meridians and things like that. So gentle tapping is all that's required. And just do what feels good and feels right for you. Okay.
Awesome. Can I just, Sasha was in the waiting room. I don't know if you can see that on your end.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yep, that's all right. She just wanted to pop in and support you. It's because you're the host. Sorry. No, it's just because I gave you host. Yeah.
Hello, not at all. You're busy talking.
Okay, there's an echo somewhere.
Yep, I was in the Facebook group as well. So.
Okay, no worries. So like I said at the beginning, you didn't need to take notes. I know some people love taking notes, but you can actually get a lot of this information from this little ebook that I've done up as a gift for people that have been part of the Radiant Festival. So you can get this little ebook, Easy Steps to Reduce Stress During Chaos and Change. So you can get it at my website or through following the different social media links. And, depending on what you're dealing with, maybe it's stress, maybe it's pain, maybe it's low energy, maybe it's self-sabotage. Maybe you've been trying to do things for a long period of time and no matter what you do, it just doesn't seem to come about. Or maybe you succeed at what you're doing for a little period of time and then you fall back into bad habits. Maybe it's poor performance. Whatever you need help with, I'm here if you need additional help to help change and improve your life. So I'm offering a clarity call where we can just have a bit of a chat and see what's happening in your life, see how you can move forward and what you want to do, where you want to be. As we spoke about, focus on the positive, focus on what you want to achieve and how you want to be. And then finally, if you need to learn anything else, if you want to look at my first book, Drug-Free Pain Relief, or look at Radiant, which is this amazing collaboration. Sasha and Leanne, one of my fellow authors. It's a wonderful book. It reaches out with 22 chapters, 22 authors, a variety of experiences and expertise is there. So, so wishing you all the best. There's ways, we've gone through the easy ways to help you cope with stress. Remember to try and deal with it. Don't let it hang around because your life physically and mentally is going to be so much better when you take those steps to get rid of that stress. So thanks, Leanne.
Oh, I love that, Suzanne. I was going to ask you to, I'll just take back host, reclaim host. I love how you have got those simple steps that, don't particularly cost any money, which is amazing. And I know that you talked about the early morning sunshine, and I've created a routine with my little bloke who is 6, and in the mornings we get up and we go out onto the grass in the front paddock.
Brilliant.
And we say good morning to the birds and we say good morning to the trees, and it just goes on to everything. It's like, he'll say good morning to the ants and he takes it to the next level. Which I just love the 6-year-old brain because they, so it can take quite some time, this good morning routine.
That's so beautiful, Leanne. And you're grounding him at the same time, being out in the grass, and
so
that's
grounding
awesome.
And I'm also getting some vitamins into him, and he's not thinking about it. So he's take a sip, and who else are we going to say good morning to? And then more birds will come because we have got a bird feeder, and they just generally just hang around anyway. But you can create these incredible routines that don't cost anything. And, I know that he'll remember that for his whole life. And I hope that he does that with his children, He's
going to be a very switched on and intelligent little boy, And with all those experiences and having you as his mum, wonderful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to add the tapping actually, because that's what I was going to say, because myself and my boys can be prone to respiratory kind of, and so I think I'm going to add that tapping and
Well, the tapping is really good across the lungs and the sternum as well. I mean, you can even do it really simple and do all the way across. You can just do lines across, whatever pattern works best for you.
Yeah.
But it's also good to do before bed. So you're like freeing up and, activating the lymphatic system before you go to bed.
Yeah.
And then do it first thing in the morning when you get up. As you say, it'll be a wonderful part of the morning routine.
Yeah. So that was awesome. Sasha, it was a really good presentation.
I bet it was. I came as soon as I could, Suzanne, because I really wanted to come and join in. So I was so excited about you talking this morning. So I'm definitely going to watch the recording just to get all your pearls of wisdom.
Thank you, Sasha. And I've enjoyed your presentations. Have been amazing. I was actually I couldn't attend, I think the one you did yesterday. So I watched that late last night. It was amazing. Did all the exercises. That's what I love. These masterclasses have a wonderful practical application. And
yeah, definitely. Well, it's absolutely working, because I've had a few people say that to me this morning. They couldn't come at the time, but they watched it last night. So
brilliant.
So that's been really great in terms of how this festival is working and the dynamics of it. It's like it's alive and happening all the time, 24/7.
I love that. That's great. Yeah. I'm just going to stop recording and streaming if you like, Suzanne.
Thanks, Leanne.
Yeah, we will put in the chat in Radiant Books, I will put the link to Suzanne's book, Drug-Free Pain Relief book. So that Suzanne did generally the opposite way around to most people. So most people will write in a multi-author book first, a chapter, and then they will maybe attempt their own book. However, Suzanne, being the high achiever that she is, she wrote her book first, her complete book.
It would have been so much easier if I did it your way.
And then she's written in a chapter. So she has a different perception on the whole collaborative book experience too, don't you, Suzanne? Because you can compare it to writing your own solo book. So that just came to me to maybe discuss that a little bit.
Yeah, look, writing, most of us have information that we'd love to share that we've learned. And, we want to support others and empower others. And so what I found with writing my own book, it was a wonderful thing to do, but it was a lot of work. It was a good 12 months of intensive writing. And because my book's very practical, it's not a fiction book, it's just like a self-help practical book. There were exercises and stretches and photo shoots and all this kind of thing. So it was a lot of work, but I'm proud of the book. A lot of people have read it and had benefit from it, so that's really great. But comparing it to my journey with you, Leanne, and Sasha, being a co-author in Radiant, being a co-author with you, Leanne, has been so relaxing. It's been a lot less work. Writing a chapter is a hell of a lot less daunting than writing a whole book. So typically a book is anything from 10 to 20 chapters, and there's a lot of research, a lot of time and energy goes in it. So just doing one chapter. And it also, I think, kind of forces you to concentrate and focus on what's really important. What's the information that you really want to put into that one chapter. So So it's been a lot more relaxing for me. I've loved being part of your collaboration. I mean, you're doing the organising and all the hard work, and and Sasha has been co-hosting on this festival, and I just pop in and out. And how great is that?
Yeah,
it is fabulous like that. I would agree with that, Suzanne, that it was such an effortless kind of feeling and process, and there's something about collective energy. Like all of us coming together and everyone uplifting the energy. Like when I think about as we approached our launch date for the book, like everyone was just flying at such a high vibration.
Yeah.
And it was the collective of getting it out there to all of our networks and everyone energizing it for each other. And like in that way, no wonder it went bestseller while we were asleep the night before we launched. I think that's testament to the fact that we had 22 authors in there kind of making that happen. So it was just like a natural outcome. It wasn't like, oh, we've got to do this and we've got to do that and force it to happen. It just naturally happened. And then of course throughout the day on the launch it went to international bestseller across multiple categories. So to me, it was an experience. I'd sort of thought about writing a book over the years and developing all sorts of little ideas that I end up doing into masterclasses and all sorts of things. And the moment I saw you, Leanne, post, oh, I'm doing a book, which was in a Facebook group that I never go to, just for the record.
Never goes on.
I never go there. I've been there like 3 times.
Never gets
and
my
the third time was when I saw your post.
Amazing.
And I haven't been back since. So, I was totally just meant to see it. And the moment I saw it, I just knew instantly in just reading the post. And I remember reaching out to you and saying, I'm in. I don't even need to know the details. I just know I'm in because I just felt that calling to be a part of it, So, it's just amazing to be a part of an energy that's bigger than ourselves. And that's what I really feel this process has been for me.
And I think, Sasha, as you said, the speed of it, things just clicking into place. I think that's one of the great benefits of a collaboration book is that you will get your message out there a lot faster.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
indeed.
So true. And also, I really love how we've come together as a Radiant community, now, and a lot of the women authors are from the Gold Coast, and I'll see them when we go out sometimes, and most of the time they're wearing red.
Yes.
I don't know if it's subconscious but we say, we call each other the Radiant ladies.
Yes,
such a deep connection between all the authors from going through that experience, and some incredible collaborations have formed as a result of that book. So
absolutely, that's so true. Well, in fact, we're taking it up a notch for next time, aren't we, Leanne?
Absolutely. So Sasha and I are collaborating on the next Radiant book. So that's and I mean that's come from Sasha being an author, so you're opening up to unlimited possibilities, and you just never know who knows who. And you've got exponential marketing to really get you out there.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that all happened on launch day. I woke up on launch day of the first book and got this massive download, as I do. The next book project needs a coaching program and you're the coach with Leanne. And I went, oh, that's actually a really good idea. And I immediately just text Leanne and said, right, this is the download I've just gotten. What do you think? And she was like, absolutely, let's do it. So, it just felt so meant to be, because I've been through the process with you, Leanne, and everybody else. And I know what it feels like to have never written a book before, to just feel the calling, to want to do it, both for my business, but I think more importantly too, for the expression of my soul, for the opportunity to get my magic out there in a way that is going to be of value and help others along their journey, because I've been so fortunate to have read other and been a part of other people's amazing journeys. And to me, that's just completely inspiring. Like, I just go, wow, that's amazing. And so it keeps my drive and enthusiasm going in so many ways. So it's really exciting that we're, you know, adding another coaching program to the existing book project and take it into another stratosphere.
And that's life, isn't it? Taking advantage of opportunities and moving forward.
Yeah.
And just feeling where the universe has pockets of energy for us. It's like, you know, they're always inviting us into expanding into something new, and we just need to tune in and listen.
Feeling where you're being led, and the whole book was very much like that. It was very much led, had a direction and momentum of its own.
Yep.
But I think the whole getting to bestseller in our sleep, I reckon that was all like getting all us high achievers.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, the universe delivered. I woke up and it was bestseller. That was incredible.
It was.
And I mean, all the authors too are really positive, and we're all focusing on what we wanted. You know, there's no way that it wasn't going to happen.
That's so true, Suzanne.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Suzanne, for that masterclass. It was fantastic. I love how you've broken it down, and they really are simple steps, and it's really about just getting a routine, you know, like what I said that I've got with my son. I'm yet to get the teens in on it because they're just like saying hello to the birds. So that's all right. They might get there. They might do it their own little way, which is fine. But yeah, it's great. You know, I really treasure that time, and it's so simple, and anyone can do it. It doesn't need to take a lot of time. So,
yes, I'm a great believer of simplifying things, because you're more likely to do it. It's more likely to be a lifestyle or something that you'll keep up doing to support your own health and wellness.
Yeah. Well, even if we're out there and, you know, he's eating his Wheat Bix or whatever, it's doable, you know, even if we are rushing a bit, but generally he gets up at 5 a.m. So there is no rush.
It's time of the day though, isn't it? It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
We need some activities to do before school. Awesome. Okay, I'm just gonna
just before you stop recording, Leanne, I just felt to say that for anyone who's watching this part of the recording as well, that you and I are running another masterclass on Friday at 12 p.m. Queensland time, and that is all about activating your vision in business and life through a high vibration book collaboration. So it would be fabulous to see anyone come and join us who just is interested to find out how to start thinking about that for yourself, and some great tips that we're going to share with you along the way.
Yes, thank you for that, Sasha. Excellent. I'm really looking forward to Friday.
Me too.
Okay, I'm just going to stop recording.